People are running out like crazy right now, buying Mac minis just so they could run OpenClaw. Now, if you want to have a full local setup that's private and it sits right on your desk and you have the cash to do it, then by all means, go right ahead. But if you want to try out OpenClaw and just see what it can do, then you don't actually need a Mac mini. You could run it on something called a virtual private server instead. Take a look at this. This is my own OpenClaw instance running on a VPS that I control. And in this video, I'm going to show you step by step exactly how to set this up. Now later on, I'll show you how you can get started for free with $300 in credits so you can start right now. With that said, let's jump in. But before we jump in, if you like this video, definitely give it a thumbs up and leave me a comment. I'd love to hear from you. But for sure, subscribe because I want to see you again. We got to stick together. Now with that, let's jump in. First off, I apologize. The lawnmower outside decided to show up at the exact moment I'm recording. So if you hear that, I apologize, but I'm not going to stop. Anyway, so go to Vultr.com. This is what I think is one of the best virtual private server hosting platforms out there, vultr.com. You just sign up here, and it's pretty quick and easy to get started. I'm logged in right now. This is a cloud instance that I'm running. It's a virtual private server, which means it's sort of space on an existing server. Other people are on the same server, but they're all separated from each other. All the customers are on the same box. So there's a bunch of stuff. Don't worry about all these other things. This is for more advanced things. We're just going to deploy a single server, and you're presented with 4 options: dedicated CPU, cloud GPU, bare metal. Those are all expensive, and shared CPU. We're going with the cheapo shared CPU. I'm picking Dallas because I'm in Texas. I'm disabling automatic backups. I'll show you why you probably don't need that, because you could just take snapshots when you want to have a backup, unless you need it constantly backing up, which I don't think you need. Anyway, so I'm disabling that. That saves $2 a month right there. And then you can go all the way down to a $5 a month server. I don't recommend that. I think 10 is probably fine. And the thing is, I'm going to be able to get you a lot of credits for free. So let's go ahead and don't worry about anything else. There's all these other options. And we're just going to go here. We're going to pick Ubuntu. I'm picking 24.04. I think that's one of the main releases. I think this 25 one is it's basically like an interim release. Anyway, there's a bunch of other stuff. We're going to ignore all this. And now we just hit the blue button that says deploy. My goal here is to make this easy and save you a bunch of time. So I'm just going to stick to the key points. Deploy. It says down here, creating server. Server created. Now we can go back to our dashboard and we will see, we go to compute. So this is the one I already have, and this is the one that's installing. I'll be back with you as soon as this is done. All right, well, here we are. So the new server is running, I believe. Yes. So what do you do from here? You can get into the server 2 ways. One, you can click this little view console thing. I think that's a way of getting in, but I'm not going to do that right now. What I'm going to do instead is just SSH. SSH is like a way of accessing the server through a terminal, and it's like as if you're logging into it, but it's secure. I'm going to put this paste bin in the comments so you could just refer to that. But basically, here's what we do. So there's multiple commands. You have to go through these step by step in order to get the server set up. So the first thing is SSH root at your VPS IP. Okay, so basically, here's the IP of this particular server. So I'm going to get a terminal window going. Okay, so here is a fresh terminal window. Let me see if I can make this a little bigger. So we do SSH space root at the IP address. The IP address was just this thing here, this IP of the server. Okay. So I type that in and then I just hit enter. And then I say, yes, I trust the server. And now it's going to ask for the password. The password is over here. So I'm just going to copy it so no one has to see it. I guess maybe when I paste, no, it won't show it even when I paste. Anyway, so I paste it here and then all of a sudden magically we'll be in the server. Boom, we're in. So you can see it's Ubuntu, and this is running on Vultr. And anyway, we're in the server, so I can do things like, you see it says root at Vultr. So I can do ls. There's nothing in this directory. cd that. This is like going to the root, ls again. So you can basically see the server itself. And we're in as root, which is the top level user. So that's step one. We got in. Now, we want to install, we're going to update the installer. Basically, apt update, basically it just updates the package library. It's basically like updating the directory of packages that are available to install. So you'll see later on in the paste bin, there's this apt install apt. So basically what it's doing is apt is like a package installer, and it's telling it like, hey, go ahead and update the catalog of packages that are available. So it's not actually installing updates. I guess it is updating some of the packages, but anyway, you'll see. So it's, yeah, it did update the package. It updated packages that were already running and restarted those services. Deferred one of them because probably couldn't do it. Anyway, so there we are. So that is step 2. Done. Step 3 is we have to install Node. Okay. So the way we do that is this line here. This basically just downloads it. Curl is just like it's basically just using HTTP to download it and install it. And here we go. This is all super magical. How easy this is. Done. Okay. Next, we need to install Node.js. Remember apt? There it is. Apt installed Node.js. Done. Okay. Now we're getting to the fun. Remember OpenClaw? We're ready for you, OpenClaw. npm install OpenClaw. Here we go. And now it begins. So there is this one thing, it says here, restarting a system to load the new kernels will not be handled automatically, so you should consider rebooting. I didn't do that previously. Maybe we should do that after this is done, before we actually go through the onboarding process of OpenClaw. I do remember that when I did this did take a little bit because it's got to install a bunch of stuff. All right, here we go. So it's there. Okay. So if I typed in OpenClaw, it should be like, hey, you need to do something. But anyway, let's reboot this server. So I was going to show you how to do it from the command line, but I don't think that is working. Let me do, nope, I think it's dead, this terminal window. This is H. So the server's still alive. All right. Yeah, there, see it. I think the other one just came back. I heard it beep. Yep, there it is. Sorry. You guys didn't have to see all that. All right, we're going to restart. I think I don't need to do sudo because I'm already logged in as root. But let's see. Reboot. Is the command? There we go. Okay, so now here, let's see what this says. Yeah, it doesn't really say anything. But anyway, the way you could just do a server restart by clicking this. That's the way, if you're stuck and your terminal is dead and you can't get into the server anymore, you could do it that way. And this is how to turn it off. Okay, so let's try this again. See if it's alive yet. It is. It's back. Let's copy that password, paste that in. See, now it's not complaining about needing to be restarted because the kernel matches the update. So anyway, we will do this onboarding this onboarding step. Onboarding is like a process that OpenClaw has to onboard onto to get set up basically. So now we'll install the daemon. A daemon is basically like a service that's running in the background all the time. And so it always says fun things. So welcome to the command line where dreams compile in confidence, seg faults. Anyway, it's installing now. I will be back because this is a somewhat process you kind of got to pay attention to, and I will do this with you, but I'm just getting it to the point where we could walk through it all. So anyway, I'll be back. I'll probably have a different shirt on. Okay, well, we're back. The installation has started. You can see my command down here, OpenClaw space onboard space dash dash install dash daemon. So it begins. So it's a security warning, please read. It's a hobby project in beta, blah, blah, blah. So you just use your arrow keys and go over to yes. At the bottom, hit enter. We're going to do quick start. And you can pick your your model provider. So basically, these are the list of large language model providers that you can work with. As you see, there's a whole ton of them. I think you can do Grok. That's cool. We can probably do another video where we use LM Studio running locally. That would be kind of cool. But anyway, we're just going to do OpenAI. So I'm just going to walk you through how to do it because it is a little finicky. So you click here, just hit enter. We're going to use ChatGPT OAuth, which basically just means you have to have logged in as ChatGPT in a browser. But since we're on a server in the cloud, on a virtual private server, I was like wondering how this would work, but it's very simple. You just hit enter, and it says paste this into the URL or into the web browser. So we're going to do that. We're going to paste that in. So I will log in with Google. And now I have something called Authenticator set up for my ChatGPT account because I want it to be extra secure. So my code. So it says sign in with Codex with ChatGPT, and you'll see it like post back to a local host URL, which because like normally the way OAuth works, it'll like write back, and there's see port 1455. It would normally be listening the application that's trying to do OAuth on that port, but in this case, I just copy this whole URL, and then see here it says paste the redirect URL. So I paste that URL here, and there's like the tokens and everything are in there to authenticate with, and just hit enter. And there we go. So it's like now authenticated. And then it asks you which model you want to use. We're going to stick with the default, which is GPT 5.3 Codex. Here's the next one. How do you want to talk to your OpenClaw? Like, how do you want to talk to your bot? So you could do WhatsApp, Discord, IRC, if you know what that is, Google Chat, Slack, Signal, iMessage. There's a million different, not a million, but there's a bunch of different ways. I like Telegram. It's easy. So here we go. So basically, we go to Telegram, and let's do that. So we're going to go to bot father, say new bot. Okay. All right. New bot. How are we going to call it? Let's call this, we're going to call this YT bot. Mega YT bot. Because I think they have to be unique. And it's going to be YT for YouTube. Okay. Done. So now here's the access token for this bot. Copy selected text. I'm going to paste the token in. So now that's configured. So now do I want to configure skills? Yes. You can do a bunch of stuff that we're not going to do. So basically, you could do your 1Password. You basically could give it all these abilities, which we're going to skip all this for now. Okay. So you hit spacebar, by the way, to like select. See, I selected that box. Spacebar does that, and then enter. Set Google Places API key, no. Set Gemini API, no. Notion, no. 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 So we're gonna enable all these hooks. So if you look, it says run boot.md on gateway startup, inject additional workspace bootstrap files via globe path patterns, log all command events to a centralized audit file, save session context to memory when new or reset command is issued. So basically it's like making it remember its sessions and stuff. So we select all those, we're gonna hit enter, and it's installing the gateway servers. So it says it's installed. So now we need to go back here. So we're going to start here. So it says OpenClaw access not configured. So I started the Mega YT bot. So let's do, so basically it's like saying, how do you want to hatch? And hatching in this sense means like, where do you want to go next? So hatching means like, where do you want to go next? You could open the web UI, which we don't want to do because we can't access this because it's on the server in the cloud. You could do that. There's a whole way to do it, but we're not going to do it now. Hatch into TUI, which means terminal user interface. So we're going to do that. Okay. So there it is. Okay. So now OpenClaw is officially running. It's talking to OpenAI. And there it is. So basically, hey, I just came online. Who am I? You are, let's call him, let's come up with a fun name. Let's call him Paperclip. You're a Paperclip. You are an assistant. Your vibe should be chill AF. Your emoji should be a paperclip. Okay. So we're giving his personality. This actually ends up, I think, going into something called the soul.md file, I'm pretty sure, which is like its identity. It's thinking. Cool. What should I call you? Call me Stanforce. Cool. Locked in. So now I can do anything. So now I'm going to say, I just set up Telegram, but you need to approve it, I think. Okay, so we're going to go back to Telegram, and where this whole thing is, we're going to copy that, and we're going to go back to the terminal. And you use the key to do an enter. It's not shift enter. It's the thing above the enter key, like a backslash, enter, backslash, enter, backslash. So that's how you do lines. So I'm going to paste this in and hit enter. Cool. So now it says it's paired. I think you are paired now. Are you there? So now this can be the way I talk from now on, theoretically. Boom. See? So now we don't have to do anything at the terminal anymore. We don't need to SSH. We can now transfer our entire lives over to here. Oh, there's something important to show you. Very important. I am going to show you in here. If I go into this server, the one we just did, you'll see all the way here in settings, firewall, there's no firewall, okay? So now we're gonna go here and be like, let's ask it in Telegram. Can you check to see if anyone is doing a active port scan on you? So basically it's going to check itself. So now like this is the benefit. Now it can like talk to its own server. It has essentially like access to its own system. It can do these things that would be quite difficult for us to do on our own. And it can write its own code if it needs to. So this might take a minute, but there it goes. So it's blocked random destination ports from multiple IPs, including repeat hits from this one across changing ports, which is consistent with the scan. So basically what's happening is they're trying to break in because this server is not protected. So here's the trick. In Vultr or any other provider you use, there's usually a firewall set up. So here I've set up a firewall called OpenClaw. It's very simple. All it does is says anything that's to port 22, which is an SSH connection, which is what this terminal connection is, accept and pass it through. Let that traffic come in. Any other port, there's 65,535 ports. Any other port, just drop the traffic. Don't let it in. So that is the setup that we need. So all we have to do now is we go back to the server. Here, go to compute, cloud instance, and settings, firewall. And we're going to say, hey, go ahead, use the OpenClaw firewall group on this server. So now the load balancer, whatever system they have that does this, it will now no longer let any of that traffic to it. So the only traffic that will be allowed in will be SSH traffic. And that, we're good. So basically that's all we had to worry about. Like I say, I just added a firewall. So I said I just added a firewall policy. It drops anything that isn't SSH traffic. Sound good? So basically, I did this yesterday on a different server, and I actually was sending packets from my Mac here at my house to the server and doing like different ports and stuff, and proved for sure that it was 100%, indeed being what do you call it? It was indeed open. So by adding the firewall, that took care of it. So that's that. Now you can create these skills and commands that you can run from your OpenClaw instance that do different things. So I'm going to show you one that I've done here that's server related. And this is for my other server. So I can say, all right, ready? Server health. Okay, and there we have it. So the server status is the CPU is pretty light, 16.7%. Memory, 89.9%. So that's a lot of utilization, but it's good. We don't want to pay more than $10 a month if we don't need to. And disk space, 28%. Uptime 1 day, 5 hours, 5 minutes. Anyway, so that's cool. So those are the things we could do. So I will show you another one that I did over here. Now, for some reason, this is another, actually, I'm going to show you from the beginning. So basically, I'm going to tell it like, hey, like I want to get a snapshot of a website, cnbc.com, from a desktop just above the fold portion. And it's going to complain it can't do it. The reason it says it can't do it, it'll be because, hey, I don't have like a way to access a browser here. So we're going to tell it to do it. It's going to come back with ideas. See, I can do it, but the host currently has no desktop browser installed, so short screenshot capture can't run yet. Cool. So yes, let's add Chromium as you suggested. So basically it's going to download Chromium, install it, and from this point forward, it'll be able to do browser-based things. And then if we want to do any sort of automation stuff, we're going to probably have to install a plugin for that browser so that you can fill out forms and stuff like that. But the cool thing is, so this bot now can write its own software as needed as we go. And that's the power of OpenClaw. And so behind the scenes, it's using ChatGPT Codex as the LLM provider behind the scenes to sort of be the brains. But the OpenClaw project is stitching all these capabilities together. And so essentially it's like you have an LLM sitting at a keyboard on a server, and I could talk to it on web-based Telegram. I could talk to it on my phone, and it could effectively do anything a person could do. So that's what makes it so cool. So we're going to go ahead, have it install Chromium, and let's see if it could do it. Okay, so what it did is it went ahead and installed Chromium. I asked it for a status. It says it installed it. The gateway is running. It says it couldn't do the browser control service, which is a plugin that OpenClaw has. And it basically said like, hey, I can keep troubleshooting it, or you can run OpenClaw gateway restart, which I did over here from an SSH session. So you could see here that yeah, so basically I wrote, I logged in SSH, I said OpenClaw gateway restart, and restarted it. So now, bam. So now that worked, it could do it, did the snapshot, and we are golden. So basically you can see like, you could do anything with this. It's really amazing. Obviously it has this cookie thing open. So let's see if I could actually get it to close the cookie thing. Great work. Can you close the cookie thing first? So like, I don't know. It's just wild that you can do this stuff. And the fact is, if the OpenClaw browser control is running, then it will be able to close that cookie pop-up. And if it's not, then it won't be able to do that. So we shall wait and see. Okay, so it says done, grab the fresh desktop above the fold. Shot after attempting to dismiss cookie UI. No cookie prompt was present as render. That's not really true because you can see at the bottom. Oh, it's a privacy policy thing. Is that what it was the first time? Yeah, so it's a privacy policy thing. Anyway, but the point is the browser control thing is at least working in the sense it's trying to do it. I bet we could do it a couple more times. We don't need to do it for this video. I want to show you one more thing, which I think is really, really cool. Telegram has this voice thing, so I could say like, if you can hear this, tell me what your favorite flavor of ice cream is. So I just sent that audio over to it. If you can hear this, tell me what your favorite flavor of ice cream is. So you see that didn't work? So now I could say, please go ahead and install, what is that called? Whisper for transcription. So Whisper is an OpenAI product, and it can run on the server, and it should be able to transcribe those audio notes. So let's see if it could do that. And just like that, we're done. So it said done, Whisper is installed and working. I set it up, blah, blah, blah. I also tested transcription on your last voice note successfully. And it said, if you can hear this, tell me what your favorite flavor of ice cream is. And it says mint chocolate chip, which is also mine. So good test. And it installed Whisper. It says where it is, etc. So, and where my transcription file is located. So that is just a quick demonstration of OpenClaw. We're just scratching the surface. The cool thing is now with voice transcription, you can like lay in bed and just talk to your phone and have it write software, and it doesn't have to be running on your computer in your house. It can be running on a cloud server, on a VPS that you can completely control. You can turn it off, you can turn it on. And you can connect it to as much stuff as you want. You don't have to connect it to everything. And now I'm going to give you the huge unlock, which is how do you get free VPS hosting on Vultr? Very, very simple. Cool. So there's a referral program. Yay. It's really, really good. If you guys use my link, which is here, I'll put it in the description below. You get $300 in credits. I don't know if there's any gotchas on that. It says it's limited time, but in essence, I mean, at $300, like you're going to get a ton of hosting for free. I will eventually, if you start paying, get $100, which is cool. But I will put the code in the comments on the video. You can use that And then you theoretically could be using Vultr for free. If it's $10 a month, $300, it's like 2 years of hosting, which is crazy cool in my opinion, and very, very generous on Vultr's part. So I will put this up. Go ahead and use it if you'd like. You're free to use any other hosting platform you'd like, but this to me is a way better deal than running out and getting a Mac Mini. I know it's not as fast. I know there's all the downsides of being in the cloud, etc. But as long as you lock it down, it's pretty good. So I think it's a great deal, especially if you're just testing to see if this is something you want to really dig into. Again, I'll put that code in the comments. If you have anything else you think I didn't cover about OpenClaw, which I know there's a ton, this was just supposed to be like a get you going kind of video, then please leave in the comments below. And also, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. That really helps me a lot. And definitely subscribe to the channel because I want to see you guys again. I really appreciate it. And go ahead and leave me a comment about anything you think about this video, anything that you've done with OpenClaw that's really cool that we should know about. And with that, I really appreciate it. Hope you had fun. I'll see you next time.